An update on this hour's breaking news. The Israeli military now has the 3 former hostages released in Gaza a short time ago. They'll be heading to Israel to be reunited with their loved ones. The 3 men appear to be in better health than the 3 hostages released in last weekend, whose condition drew condemnation from Israeli officials. Well, in exchange for the 3 men today, Israel is set to release some 369 Palestinians that it's currently holding prisoner. Well, stay with CNN. We've got updates on this. Right now, I want to welcome back CNN international diplomatic editor Nick Robertson, who's live for us in Tel Aviv, and our Paula Hancocks, who's live for us in Abu Dhabi. Good to have you back with us. Nick, I want to start with you because we are seeing some reaction from family members of those 3 young men, including 36-year-old father Sagi Dekel Chen, who's 36-year-old man whose 3rd daughter was born just a couple of months after he was taken hostage. No doubt for these families, Nick, absolute joy and also relief.
Yeah, Avital, Sagi's wife, talked to, and the communities talked about how much time he spent with his kids, teaching them to swim, teaching them about farming, teaching them about all sorts of things, making a lot of time for them in his lives. And of course, another daughter now to pick up in that embrace that was so abruptly torn apart October 7th, 2023. There was an image that Avital posted on Instagram yesterday of her with the 3 daughters waiting for Sagi to come back. Now, we know that he and Yair Horn, who, by the way, appears to have lost a lot of weight, and Sasha Trufanov have now been handed over to the IDF. So, officially in Israeli hands, getting medical checks, on their way to the next phase of processing, on the way to the first phase of reconnecting with their families. A very emotional day for those families, and quite an emotional time here as well in Hostage Square. Huge cheers going up when the 3 first appeared, brought out by Palestinian Islamic Jihad and Hamas, and then cheers even when the Red Cross cars showed up, cheers when they got in the Red Cross vehicles, huge cheers when it was announced that they'd been handed over to the IDF. And on the big screens there as well, as you were saying, gatherings, some of Sagi's friends were gathered in a room there waiting to celebrate his return. Celebrations beginning in earnest now for them. They can really get underway with that. And we understand as well from the Families Forum that some of the community will be going back to the pub in Nir Oz that Yair Horn, the 46-year-old Argentinian Israeli, was running, the social glue of Nir Oz. But to give you a sense of how smashed apart that glue, that social fabric of Nir Oz, the kibbutz that the 3 came from, close to the fence with Gaza, 117 members either murdered or taken hostage, 76 taken hostage. That was the biggest number of hostages taken from any kibbutz. Now, the majority have been returned, not all of them. Eitan, that's Yair's brother, is still held captive, but friends will be going to the pub in Nir Oz today to celebrate Yair's release, because he ran the pub here. That was part of the social glue, organizing social events, bringing the community together, a community of little more than 400 people, shattered, of course, by October 7th, decimated by October 7th, but in a small way today, getting 3 pieces of that community back to help ease a little bit of the pain and help a little bit of their rebuilding and beginning again. But of course, so many in that community not coming back and lost. And that'll be reflected when they meet each other again as well, because there will be stories to be shared that these 3 captives will not know about. They'll not know how the others in the kibbutz fared. They'll not know the number 76 taken hostage. They'll not know 117 murdered or taken hostage. So all of that part of their rehabilitation, if you will.
Yeah, and certainly bittersweet for Yair Horn, whose brother, of course, is still being held in captivity in Gaza. Thanks to you, Nick. I want to go to you, Paula, because there's going to be reunions for Palestinians as well, right? In exchange for these 3 Israeli hostages, some 369 Palestinians will be released from Israeli jails. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so Lynda, this will happen later today. Traditionally, over the recent weeks, it has been a number of hours before this takes place. But what we'll see today is 369 Palestinian prisoners. As you say, they are the names on the lists given to us by both the Palestinian Prisoner Society and also by the Israeli side. Now, of those, 333 are from Gaza. These are individuals, we understand, that were detained by the Israeli military during the war. So since October 7th, they were detained in Gaza and then brought to Israeli facilities, Israeli prisons. So 333 will be released into Gaza. We understand of the total number as well, that some 36 are serving life sentences. Now, not all of those will be going back to their families. In fact, 24 of them, we understand, will be exiled, meaning that they can't go back to where they have come from, Israel deeming them too dangerous to be able to release them back into the occupied West Bank or into East Jerusalem, for example. Now, in recent weeks, we have seen those to be exiled were sent to Egypt. And then from that point, there were other countries that had agreed to take them, to agree to house them, and they were then moved on from there. So this will also be an emotional time for some Palestinian families later today, although we have consistently heard from the Israeli authorities that they do not want to see scenes of celebration, of jubilation outside prisons that are releasing these prisoners. In fact, we have seen many scenes of tension between the Israeli military, the police, and those families in recent weeks. Lynda.
All right, Paula Hancocks for us in Abu Dhabi, and our Nick Robertson in Tel Aviv. Good to have you both on this breaking news story. 3 Israeli hostages now back in the hands of the IDF. Thanks very much.